thank you very much for waiting just a few minutes watching a video while we set up the semifinals here. We are close to finding a winner of this 7th Alliance tournament. While we took a break, we reshuffled the couches just a little bit. You two are still in your same spots, but we changed devs. We have CCP Hammer, lead designer of EVE. How are you today, sir?
I'm pretty good. A little hungover, actually, but, you know, pretty good.
Well, you know, it was Saturday yesterday, so you're excused. If it was Wednesday, I'd be a little, well, that happens too.
Yep.
Good times here in Reykjavik. So we are going to question you just a little bit on the coming expansion.
Okay.
And we hope that you'll share some of the really awesome features. We've had Grayscale in here. We've had loads of people, basically. And we'll talk a little bit about that. First of all, just before we went on break, I talked about which 4 teams I thought would be at the top. And I believe my answer was something like Pandemic Legion, Circle of Two, Beyond Virginity, Manifest Destiny. Krovan, can you give us your 4?
No, that's pretty good.
Thanks. Tresvik?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'd go by too.
We're followers.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to ask CCP Hammer because he'll probably just agree. Do you agree?
No. Yes.
Yeah, no. CCP Hammer will be like, I didn't even realize that anybody was fighting.
Yeah, it's quite a shock to many people.
Did they do PvP on this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's almost as good as one.
From time to time.
And remember that we are still trying to break our viewer records. We're still trying to break the PCU. So keep logging in, keep calling your parents, asking them to log in. Sign your girlfriends and unborn children up to accounts and log them in. If you're at work, open the Alliance tournament stream on all your work computers so we can break every single record there is. But let's talk expansion. We've had some of the experts ask some very good questions to the game designers.
No pressure.
No pressure. Tresvik, would you like to ask CCP Hammer a question about the expansion?
Not now, no. I can't think of anything.
Are you that happy with the expansion?
I've heard a lot about it. I've been reading up on the people on Singularity, testing everything out. I mean...
How about I ask the first one then?
Yeah, I'll come up with stuff.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, I'll pick the first one.
Okay.
What's your favorite feature in this expansion?
My favorite feature, well, I think the one that a lot of people are excited about is changing the Doomsday to a target effect rather than, you know.
I like that.
So, sort of a simple change for us, but, you know, a game changer for the, you know.
So, I mean, people are used to the Doomsday going off, everything lagging to death and everything exploding. What's going to happen now?
It turns into a targeted effect, so you have to, you know, target one ship and kill it.
So instead of killing 100 small ships, you're just destroying one big one. I think that's a hot change. Tresvik, someone who does 0.0 warfare, what do you think about this change?
I think it's pretty sweet. Also, I didn't realize we were allowed to use such softballs. Like, what's your favorite color?
That's a slider.
No, I think it's going to be a good thing. And, you know, it's certainly going to change up capital warfare since you're going to be able to...
Are you a cap pilot yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
I fly carrier.
Yeah.
A carrier.
Yeah. So do you predict that this is going to change the way you guys do anything?
Hopefully, I'll finally be able to lose that thing and make a ton of money on reimbursement and insurance.
That's true. That's a good view on it. Yeah, but do you think that it's going to like radically change 0.0 warfare? Do you think it's going to bring more of it about, or are people just going to go, hey, I don't want to lose this ship?
I think that just the Titan thing on its own may not change too much, but making Titans more valuable because of the Sov 4 change, changing how people fight in 0.0 is definitely going to change it up. And I think a lot of people now are kind of worried about the power of the Doomsday as a focused effect, but they don't realize, you know, you're not going to be dropping 10 Titans into a system at the same time and then just having a new one next week.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because, I mean, we have somewhat of a proliferation of Titans. On TQ, I think we have something like 266 or something, according to the forums. And that number, of course, is not going to continue to go up because it will be significantly more difficult to build one. I mean, I guess that we'll be going back to the good old days where you put up a load of CSAs, and you simply have to guess which one it is. You have to like do a bit more clever scheming than today, where you can just build it really with impunity. Krovan, are you going into 0.0?
I've spent time in and out of 0.0. I mean, obviously back when I was in MC, we did a lot of capital warfare. It was kind of what we were known for back before it was cool. And I am living in 0.0 right now. Obviously, Goons live in 0.0. So.
Oh, that's true. You've joined Goon
Yeah,
Fleet during the past few hours.
On his probation.
Yeah, I'm on my probation period with Goon Fleet. I didn't get a chance to talk to Mitch yet. He's probably a little upset. I actually need to drop roles before I can join Goon Fleet. But
I'm pretty sure that after this you won't have rules.
I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, he's going to disband the alliance real quick, and then yeah.
I'm gonna disband IT Alliance. No Bob Reloaded.
It will be no more.
That's true. Dark is actually forming a new alliance.
Well, we're not forming it.
Okay.
No, take credit. Do it.
Okay. Well, I formed a new alliance, and I told Mully he can come, but only if he gives me faction battleships.
Okay.
So I formed IT Alliance all by myself.
Yeah. And Mitch Taylor.
And Mitch Taylor. Yeah, Mitch. He gave the blessing. And,
So there's going to be a 0.0 alliance.
I'm not real sure how much of what's going to happen is I'm under NDA.
Oh. Incredible.
So yeah, exactly. But I think I suspect, and I kind of hope that it's not going to be the same kind of deal that the old Bob was. To a certain extent, an entity.
It seems ambitious. You're talking about the old Bob and so forth. Is this like going to be one of the big things?
I hope so.
Okay.
I think the game needs what the game needs more of is powerful individual alliances, and it needs less nap trains.
Yeah.
I hate nothing more than, as cool as the Great War was, I think it wasn't, especially with the mechanics the way they were, it wasn't a good thing for EVE. Because no matter what you did, you were had to be lumped into one side or the other if you wanted to live in 0-0, or else one, the other, or both sides would come and try to take your space for the furthering of their war machine. But I think I'm hoping, and what I was going to get to as far as questions was, if obviously the goal is a little bit make it a little bit easier for smaller entities or maybe not to require these super power blocks in order to hold space, or rather to take space. What's the goal for how 0-0 should look? Should it be 50 different alliances, each holding a fraction of a region, or should it be 5 alliances holding huge chunks? Like what? If you could redraw the 0-0 sovereignty map today without any specific alliance names, obviously, what would it look like?
I think the main thing that I would do if I could just redraw it would be no sort of ghost town sections where people have like this massive swath of space that they're claiming but not using, and that's sort of what we're like doing to in Dominion, to have like you plunk down a claim marker and it's simpler mechanics, and also with the upkeep that should keep people from these 3 regions are ours, but we only use these couple systems. So we would like to see more people out there and less of this just space that's not getting used.
How do you then, as a former 0.0 Alliance guy who's now joining or actually created on his own a new 0.0 Alliance,
with my own iskis,
how do you see the barrier of entry into 0.0 as it is now, and how it will be when Dominion hits?
It's pretty high. It's been pretty high since right when the new sovereignty mechanics hit. There was kind of a window of opportunity because nobody had Soft 4 yet. It was kind of the way it had always been, where you could ping pong places pretty easily. But then now that you've got these big established groups, like I know when I was an MC, one of the first thing we did was race to Soft 4 because we knew once you get Soft 4, you have built yourself a fortress that is incredibly difficult to tear down. What we saw for a long time, you didn't see alliances violently losing space as much as you saw alliances being demoralized to the point where they just kind of fell over, and where they couldn't maintain these vast empty empires like you were talking about. And right now, I think that barrier to entry is still pretty high, especially since up north you've got all these alliances grouped together, and down south there's some conflict going on. But I'm hoping that in Dominion it'll be a lot easier for groups to harass and potentially eventually take space from these larger alliances, especially in places where they're not, the cost-benefit ratio for a big alliance isn't enough for them to hold these vast empty reaches of nothing out there.
But I mean, Trisbek, you're in one of these massive alliances. You are potentially in the massivist alliances, as they say. How do you feel in terms of infrastructure in 0.0? I mean, Can you live in all those systems? Can you not? How does it work?
I mean, well, Goonswarm now only lives in 2 regions, really. And there is a lot of validity to the whole ghost town region thing. Like, where we are now is in Delve and Quirius, and the majority of goons are active more in Delve than in Quirius. But yeah, we used to control space from Geminate to Paragon Soul, and
Scalding Pass still Paragon Soul, really?
huh?
Scalding Pass. Still
No,
Paragon
for a little
Soul,
while we
yeah.
had drone regions and Geminate,
Yeah, that's true.
at least running towers up there. And I mean, there's definitely a point of overextension because that, especially then, because it's most of the entire east side of the universe, and you get 15 people who really do logistics, and yeah, you do reach a point where you're completely overextended. But it was, I mean, I don't want to say easy because Zastro will stab me in the face, but it's definitely possible to control entirely too much space.
Yeah, but I mean, isn't there also an infrastructure issue in terms of putting all your people into one area?
There's an issue now where, I mean, somebody was doing the math, and we would have 25 people per system right now. If everybody was logged in, which obviously is not the case since there's alts and everything. But yeah, right now, given the way that you make money on an individual level without moons or anything, that's not really feasible at all. You can't have 25 people in a system. And that's one other thing that I really want to see more information on, is how
Hold on,
CCP
and
are
I'll
gonna
let you
boost
finish,
it.
but I have some really good news. I think we're going to do something about that. Did you see the way I put a Kanye West reference in and just kind of answered?
It was a little forced.
Yeah, it was a little forced.
Because
It was a
now I
little
can't
forced.
finish.
That is true. But I mean, I kind of wanted the answer anyway. So, I mean, I kind of like threw it up there and you kind of slam dunked the
Like
whole
an
infrastructure
LLU?
thing.
No, that's good.
What's happening like to accommodate these alliances, to being able to put more people in their systems?
Well, you're going to be able to upgrade your space and, hopefully be able to fit a lot more people into the given systems that you're living in. You'll have various ways to do it, but there will be more complexes spawning, better belts, all kinds of stuff really. And you'll see that stuff come on CC every 2 weeks as we get closer to launch, and it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah. So log on to CC and try it out, because obviously the more feedback we get from you guys, the more we can look at everything.
But not today, though. Log into TQ.
No,
today.
Yeah,
yes,
log into
yes.
TQ.
Don't log into CC at all today. Log into TQ with all your accounts. Log in with all your computers and tune into the Alliance tournament. So we have some massive numbers. That is the best way to support us.
Stoffer's smugness will increase exponentially as
Yes,
more people log
I'll
on.
try and put more Kanye West references in, and it'll be good. It'll be good. So our next match at 2000 Eve, which should be right around the corner, is Manifest Destiny versus Pandemic Legion. Is this a Pandemic Legion all around the table?
Well, I think we all picked Pandemic Legion to win, so
Yeah.
I think we should probably
We don't
pick
have much
them to
of a
win
choice.
this match.
Yeah, that would be a terrible suggestion, wouldn't it? To say, I think Pandemic Legion are going to win the tournament, but this match, Manifest Destiny.
Yeah, hands down.
So,
Pandemic.
Pandemic.
I think I'm going to go for Pandemic as well. Although, this has been a little bit of a surprise tournament.
And I've
Man.
also got a jinxing effect, so sorry,
Yeah,
sorry for
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I mean, an upset certainly is not out of the realm of
No.
any possibility, but
We'll see. I'm really, what I'm curious about is to see if we see the 5 bombers again.
Yes, that was a very, very good setup.
And
very solid.
I'm just going to go on record saying I called it.
Did you call it?
Well, yeah, when we were first talking about the point
Yeah.
totals, the point costs, with the changes to stealth bombers, as opposed to how they have been in the past, stealth bombers, especially in numbers, if you're able to keep them alive, as we've seen, are absolutely devastating
Yeah.
to battleships. I mean, that many torps, it's like every 2 stealth bombers is like having a torp raven on the field.
Yeah, and I mean, Pandemic Legion certainly aren't strangers to it on TQ either.
No.
I mean, they have stealth bomber fleets that just tear everything apart. So, I mean, yeah. Not that we expected that it would be the first time they sat in a stealth bomber, but
yeah.
they are pretty good at it, just like in general. Trustbeck, do you fly stealth bombers?
I own a Hound, and it is named Why Do I Own This?
So you are
I mean,
potentially a stealth bomber pilot.
Yes, I could potentially fly them constantly because goons have really latched onto that
Yeah.
idea, but I've never really gotten around to it.
Yeah, I know. I have a hangar full of stuff I really don't really
Yeah.
get around to. Such is life. Such is life. Favorite ship in Eve, Trisbic? What do you enjoy flying?
It's probably between the Zealot, the Vagabond, and the Succubus.
Those are very, very good answers. Groban.
Brutix.
Flat out Brutix.
Oh yeah, Brutix, hands down. Followed closely by the Tyrannus and then the Megathron.
CCP Hammer.
Rifter.
Rifter. It's when you said Zealot and you said Vagabond, right?
Yeah.
Because those are some of the ones I've had the most fun with. But Rifters and possibly Punishers as well are just tremendous little ships. But Rifters are sexy.
Yeah, Rifter is definitely an enjoyable ship.
Oh yeah, it's nothing is more hilarious than killing interceptors in a Rifter.
Yeah.
I really like Tristan's also, but
I don't think I've ever
that's
flown
a very irrational love on my
Just
part.
little anime
'Cause
dudes
There's
flying
really
through
not a
space.
very good way to fit them.
Yeah, they look cool.
Yeah, no, they look cool. I remember, back when I was but a wee lad in space, everybody was flying Rifters and Ishkars, or not Ishkars.
I've flown Ishkar.
What was the
Punishers.
Incursuses.
All right,
And,
Incursus.
all the goons were like, "Oh, you should fly a Rifter, be a cool guy." I'm like, "No, I'm gonna fly a Tristan."
I don't know why.
Yeah, I'll be at the bottom of every kill mail, but I don't care. I was in a Tristan.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's certainly fair enough. I've also come to enjoy just flying stuff like Ruptures and Stabbers and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, let's go see Pandemic Legion versus Manifest Destiny. Let's see if Pandemic Legion can make their way to the finals and possibly a repeat.